Hello and a very warm welcome to this week's episode of Out and About in the UK. Coming up a little later in the show, we'll be at the Irish TV grounds for this year's London Senior Hurling Final. We'll also be chatting to a group of women who held a fundraiser for cancer treatment services in Romford. But first we caught up with Irish entrepreneur Paul Guckian to talk about his company Delaney Biometrics.
Delaney Biometrics started as a Kerry Secure, which was run by a chap called Trevor Swainson. And then about 5 years ago, I purchased the company from Trevor, and we've just about doubled in size since then.
Tell us a bit about yourself, Paul. You're originally from County Leitrim and you were born in County Longford.
Yeah, so I was born in Longford. My parents then moved down to Leitrim, where my father's family home is, and then I grew up there and went to St Miles College in Longford as my secondary school before moving over to Glasgow to go to university, where I studied computing. I did night school for about 8 years and have a master's degree in software development. All my family play Irish traditional music, and myself and my sister Irene Guckian, which people might recognise as one of the local violin players in Leitrim. We were heavily involved in the flacioles and so on through our youth and into our teenage years.
So Paul, what's biometrics?
Oh, well, biometrics is a way of identifying people using their biometric attributes. So by that we mean their facial print or their fingerprint, their iris pattern. So essentially we're using patterns on the body to uniquely identify a person and resolve that to a system ID, which a computer would then use to carry out a transaction on behalf of the person. This is basically how we do facial recognition through CCTV camera. So as the software detects a face in the screen, it'll take a note of what that face is. So the applications of this are things like shoplifting, so we can identify known shoplifters, put them in a database, and then we can track them around the store and we can identify where they are at any given point in time in the camera. So if I turn and face the camera here, you can see that a green box appears on the screen, and that's basically the system identifying me, taking my profile and registering me in the system. So what we did there is use our palm vein print to identify ourselves to the device. The device would then open the door and allow you entry based on your palm vein pattern. What we've got here is a 3D facial unit, so we're using a 3D profile of the face to get a very accurate picture. It's completely contactless, so one of the interesting applications for this solution is for disabled people who maybe would have trouble with their hands in opening locks and things, and this is a very convenient way of them of opening their own front door, for example.
Thank you.
So as you can see, a very simple, easy way, just walk up to the unit, look at it, and we can handle 400 users on these units, so it gives a lot of scope for businesses to automate their access control. And finally, we've got basically a fingerprint reader, which also includes a pin pad, so essentially we can identify ourselves. This unit happens to be an outdoor unit, so it's weatherproof for outdoor use and offers a nice, easy way to get into an office or that kind of thing.
So Paul, one of the innovations that you've come up with is Delaney Cloud. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Delaney Cloud is an innovative solution which uses these 3D facial recognition units we see on the wall and basically allows users to see their timesheets in the cloud. So the cloud is basically just a web application that can be accessed from anywhere on the internet. And what it does is, if you think about a construction site or a chain of hotels, it allows head office to manage those sites remotely, allows them to see their timesheets, and obviously with the health and safety era, it's very important that managers have a track of who's on site in case anything happens.
Yeah, I'm Ben Lambert-Williams. I'm working at Blackfriars for Ranking Limited. We're using the Delaney Biometrics system. It saves a lot of time. I don't have to mess around doing timesheets every week. It goes straight to my office and they deal with it from there.
The system itself has been extremely useful and beneficial in relation to the managing of the timesheets from an office and company point of view. Rather than looking at the individual paperwork on site, we've been able to get it remotely managed and monitored from our office. And it frees up time for the managers on site and myself to go around and look at all the individual sites remotely.
Paul, we've come away from the office and we're here at the London Biometrics show. There's a system right behind us now. It's there's water pouring all over it. Tell us about this.
Well, the effect of water is to remove the air between the ridges in your fingerprint. and that basically means the contrast between the ridges and valleys in the fingerprint isn't obvious to the computer. Now, Lumidigm have a patented technology that basically overcomes that by using multiple different light forms to basically go deeper into the fingerprint. So even if the top layer is rubbed off, and we see this in construction quite a lot, where basically people have been doing manual labour for a long time, and they've basically began to rub out their fingerprint. So the advanced multispectral technology here by Lumidigm overcomes that and allows us to still read the fingerprint, because there is in effect a copy of your fingerprint just beneath your skin, and they access that. We think that we're leading the biometric development. We're spending a huge amount of money on R&D every year. We get a lot of support from the UK government to do R&D activities, and we've really pushed the envelope in terms of what biometrics can do. So we see three opportunities really for improvement. One is in hardware technology, which we've showed you here. The software side is actually where we primarily add value in terms of optimizing the algorithms and doing a lot of the mathematics behind that. And then also in terms of user design. So what we want to do is make biometric systems very user-friendly and make people embrace the system and use it and find it useful to them in terms of convenience and security.
So if people want to find out more about biometrics and indeed get in touch with you, how could they do that?
So our website is delaneybiometrics.com, and we've got an Irish website, delaneybiometrics.ie, and they can find out more about the solutions there and contact us through the contact forms on the website.
Well done there to Paul, a great example of an Irish businessman thriving in a competitive market. Next we're off to O'Grady's Bar in Ilford, where a group of local ladies organised a fundraiser for cancer care services in Romford.
Geraldine, it's a fabulous evening here tonight. Get your pink on. What is it all about?
It is all about raising money for the chemotherapy unit at one of the local hospitals and the radiotherapy unit at another local hospital. But it's also all about getting old friends together for a big, massive party to celebrate Mairead's, coming to the end of Mairead's treatment, and it's been a huge success so far.
Mairead, when she was diagnosed, she's travelled a really difficult journey, and we've all travelled with her, but she's been an inspiration to anyone out there that's been diagnosed. And you know, we've all supported her, but she's supported everyone as well, including her family and friends. And she's been so strong in fighting what she's got and been an inspiration to everyone. And it's just, you know, you take my hat off, we look at her tonight, you know, and the main aim tonight is to raise lots of money for a very, very good cause, that anyone else coming behind her, you know, has the same services as her and can benefit what the money's going to.
I think each and every one of us who are here tonight have probably been touched by somebody who has had cancer or has suffered through cancer. I myself lost my mother to cancer, and so it's quite emotional for me to be here and to be supporting Mairead through everything, thick and thin.
Well, I found the lump myself and I was actually due a mammogram, my 53rd mammogram, at the age of 53. I had my second mammogram, and they diagnosed me with breast cancer. That was in September. I then had a surgery in October, and then had chemo, radiotherapy. I'm now having Herceptin, which is a fantastic drug. It stops it coming back, and I'll be having that until January next year. But I think I'm nearly clear. I'm very positive about it all. And it's just very important to highlight it. Check yourself, keep yourself checked, and go for your mammograms. I actually don't know where I would be without my friends. They every day ringing me, talking to me. It's been fantastic. My friends were brilliant. My family was brilliant. My husband's family, my own family, my husband's family, all been fantastic. And I really would have been lost without them. And anyone I'm just so lucky to have such good friends and very good family. It's going to be amazing. But it's all about raising funds for King George and Queen's, for the garden centre, or the garden in the Cedar Centre in King George's. For the radiotherapy department as well, and we just want to have, as we said, one big party and raise money as well. People have been so generous. It's been so overwhelming. Really, really fantastic.
The proceeds are going to the Cedar Centre Garden at King George's and Queen's Hospital. As you know, our friend Mairead has been going through cancer treatment, and while she was at the day centre having her chemotherapy, she did wander out one day and the garden was a little bit drab and sad. So one of the staff mentioned that they were actually raising money and putting plans in place to redo the garden, and she just thought, brainwave, we need to raise some money for this. So we got together, put a committee together and started organising this event, which was, throughout the summer we had meetings and we thought, well, it's going to be good. And then the last few weeks it's gone absolutely crazy. We have donations flooding in, tickets are sold out, the venue is going to be so crowded. Seamus and Anna Grady have been fantastic, saying don't worry about numbers, we'll open the bar next door, we'll put them outside, inside, on the roof, we'll cope, it'll be a great night.
Now, I've been doing my research and I found out that almost 100 of your friends and family actually flew over here to London to be with you tonight, so that must make you feel a little bit extra special tonight.
Definitely, very, very special. My family, my friends, it's just a lot of friends that used to live here have moved back and they've all come back here for this party, and it's like, as I said before, it's just overwhelming, absolutely brilliant, really, really. I could never thank them enough.
Well, I've known Mairead since the 1980s when she came over from Leitrim, and when she first came over then we got to know each other through playing Gaelic football. We joined a team, we actually formed a team called Essex Gaels, and the two of us were midfield, and we also played with Kathleen here beside me and a few others that are here tonight were also playing, and we just formed a friendship from then really.
If anyone at home is watching and they would like to get involved and donate, how can they do so?
Well, we set up a Just Giving page, and it's on the www.justgiving.com/getyourpinkon. So everybody, get your pink on and put some money into the Just Giving account. Thank you.
Well, a great night's fundraising there by the ladies, as they managed to raise over £8,000 for such a worthy cause. We're going to take a break right now, but do come back to us in the second half. We'll be at the Irish TV grounds in Ruislip for this year's London Senior Hurling Final. You're very welcome back to the show. Well, I've come along here to the Irish TV grounds here in Ruislip for this year's London Senior Hurling Final between Robert Emmet's and St Gabriel's. Kevin, after a tough semi-final against Kilburn, we're here today in Ruislip. Your thoughts?
Delighted to be here. Just the game was very tough against Kilburn. We expected nothing less than a hard game against them, and we're up for this. We've been training since April last year for this day. We're now here, and I'm fully confident we're going to do the job.
A few players on the Robert Emmet stand out there. People like Ty Healy and Fergus McMahon.
Oh yeah, Tig and Fergus are excellent hurlers. We got Tig this year from Cork. He's probably the best hurler I've seen in London in the last 10 years. His catching is just excellent. He played for Cork Senior, so he knows how to bring a high intensity, and that matches on the training. And Fergus just leads by example. He was the captain in 2007 when we won the All-Ireland, so he can bring that experience. It's good.
Commitment that players here in London show towards Gaelic games is quite phenomenal, really, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Lads be working all the time, and they're working all over London, and we train in Greenford, and some lads don't be getting home to 11:30 at night, and if they can't make it, I don't say nothing because I respect them. They're here to live, not really to play hurling, but they give it because they love it. They love hurling, and that's why they give the commitment.
I think it's going to be a very close game. As I say, we played Northampton several times this year, and I think there's only a couple of points between us at any stage, so we expected a very, very tight game. The manager of London, McMahon, is a very, very strong player. He's a very experienced player, even though he might be in the twilight of his years, but he's still a very, very good player and reads the game very well. Up the field, I got Ty Healy, a ex-Cork player, good strong hurler, and of course they've got forwards, very fast forwards. I think the team that's going to take their chances up front, or the team that's going to come out, I think it'll be very, very tight in the end, very close. So hopefully we can pull it off.
I did an article at the Irish Post this week and I said we'll win by 3 points. I still stand by that. I think we just have that edge all around the pitch today, all over the pitch, that we'd have our 15 players overall will be stronger. We have a very good bench. When you have players like Bernard Gaffney, former Clare hurler, as a sub, well, you're strong then. I think Owen Kelly, St Gabriel's full forward, he will drift all over the half forward line. He'll pick up loose ball, he's a terrific head. He uses the ball well. He's a typical Offaly hurler, a John Troy type hurler, and he has a great touch. I think he will be our ace today. Darryl Roberts of Robert Emmets, corner forward, played for Carlow. Very elusive, very quick. He'll get a goal. He has a great eye for goal, and he beat Kilburn basically on his own. He's a great player. So they're the two players we're watching today, is Darryl Roberts Emmets and Owen Kelly Gabriels.
Martin, you're the captain of St. Gabriel's. Your thoughts on today's game?
Looking forward to the match. We've trained hard all year. Looking forward to the challenge that's in front of us, and just looking forward to getting the game on, really. The middle third of the field is crucial that we get the upper hand. We're expecting a physical game. We played Robert Emmets 3 or 4 times this year, and it's always been very close, so hopefully it's going to be a good game.
Gaelic games are most important not only to the people in London, but the younger people coming through. The younger people come over here, it gives them a base, and somebody always knows somebody else, and they'll come along, and if we have somebody here and they know somebody, they'll automatically come to us, which is the same with every club, in fairness. So yeah, it's quite good. The games are very important, hurling and football, but the players that come over boost the games and gives the Gaelic scene over here a big boost to keep it going, you know. So we appreciate them all coming over. Gabriels are a good team, but a team that let you hurl. They're a hurling club, the same as ourselves. But the Gabriels are very good hurlers. But it's like everything else. We're as hopeful, I'm sure, as they are. As long as we all come back, no injuries, good game, we're happy.
Well, what commenced was a very good game of hurling as both teams strive to become county champions. Robert Emmets set the tone with 2 early frees, the second of which was put over by keeper Sean Ryan. Frees were to play a big part in the scoring as Owen Kelly powered over St. Gabriel's first score. The game's first goal came as Robert Emmets captain Mark Fitzpatrick reacted quickest to Tig Healy's high ball into the square. Emmets got 2 more fortunate goals before half-time, but were disappointed to lose their captain through injury. The half-time whistle blew with St. Gabriel's 3 goals down with much to do in the second half. It's 3-4 to 4 points. Emmets are in front.
Possibly a bit of a shock. I don't think there's too many people who would have fancied that, but saying that, Emmets have hit form at the right time, and early on in the year it was a bit of a struggle for them, but they picked up a few players and it's going very well for them today, and it will be very difficult for St. Gabriel's to come back into the game in the second half, I think. Between these two clubs, like, they've won 7 of the last 9 championships, like, so there's a fair bit of rivalry out there between the two teams, like, so, you know, it's a very good hurling game.
I thought it was an interesting struggle. I mean, the 2 goals that the Robert Emmets got, one of them was a known goal by Martin Ryan, and the second one was a goal from a 60 yards free that the goalkeeper dropped out of his hand. So if you take those 2 goals off, there'd only been 1-4 to 4 points. So it was a lot tighter battle than the scoreline suggests.
Gaelic games and football, hurling, it's a huge part of people's lives here in London.
It is. It's, you know, as you say, like, if you are involved in the GA, you've got friends for life. Like, and since I've come over here, I've been involved in the GA, and I've met a lot of friends. I've been a lot of friends through the GA. We're out every week supporting or watching games, and it's great. And when you're overseas, it's great to have it. And I would urge any young lad who'll be coming over to London to get involved with any GA club, because it is a great opportunity and it's a great organisation.
Can you see St. Gabriel's coming back?
I don't think they can. I think the gap is too wide. Although, on reflection, 3 years ago in the county final, they were 8 points down with 5 minutes to go and they won by a point, so maybe history might repeat itself.
History did repeat itself somewhat as Robert Emmets started the second half scoring a free from Owen Chalk. St. Gabriel's, however, showed great determination to bring the game to their opponents with some well-taken scores. Owen Chalk managed to keep up his side scoring, showing why he's one of Emmet's best free takers. Michael Ivers got a goal back for St Gabriel's as they continued to put the pressure on with more well-taken points. Bernard Gaffney produced some of the game's best scores, showing great power and skill to score from distance on more than one occasion. However, it wasn't to be St Gabriel's Day as Robert Emmett held out to win the game with a scoreline of 3 goals and 10 points to 1 goal and 10 points. Kevin, you must be delighted with the result.
I'm fantastic, yeah. I won it 4 times as a player, and I wasn't too sure what I'd feel if we won as a manager, but I'm unbelievable. People shaking my hand, it just feels great.
At the start of the game, St Gabriel's would have been the favourites, but Robert Emmett maybe were the hungrier of the two teams.
I believe that. That happened in the semi-final. We were the hungry team. We showed we wanted it more. When you train a bunch of lads, you see it in their eyes, you see how hungry they are to win, and today we weren't letting that cup go. It's as simple as that. We weren't leaving here without that cup.
St Gabriel's, he pulled it back a fair bit in the second half.
Yeah, we came back in the second half. We're known for doing that anyway, over the years. And like the goals, probably the early goals in the first half took the life out of us, really, And it was an uphill struggle all the way after that, It's hard to take, but you're looking, they were the best team.
I'd like to congratulate the two teams on a very sporting game. It was tough out there, and I think the two clubs both gave their all. I'd like a big round of applause, please, for the two clubs.
Declan, your thoughts on today's game?
Well, I'm delighted with the spectacle we saw today. Two very good teams. The two best teams got to the final and produced a very entertaining game. And in the end, Robert Emmet's fully deserved winners. St Gabriel's battled away to the very end. Would have been the favourites at the very start of the game today. But the Robert Emmet's team certainly put it up to them and have turned out to be the winners and surprise winners probably this year, but fully deserved on their success.
Today really was a bit of an upset.
I'm not too sure. I think Emmet's were very confident coming into this. Speaking to the management team beforehand, they said there was no way that they were going to lose. They couldn't see where they were going to lose on the pitch. They were in form. They came into form at the right time. Gabriel's weren't really tested in their semi-final. And Emmet's did well not to concede too many frees because Owen Kelly was going to punish them on that. So they had their game plan right and the better team won in the end.
Any day you win a county final, no matter where it is, you're always delighted. So look, it's no different if you're in London, if you're in Kilkenny or whatever. It's a great day for Robert Emmett.
You seem to be the hungrier of the two sides.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. I think our work rate was a little bit higher than theirs maybe on the day, but that's not taking anything away from Gabriel's. They're a fine team.
And you picked up a bit of an injury, but I think it was something brewing all season, was it?
Yeah, I'm kind of struggling away on it for the last couple of months, but look, it just happened to go today unfortunately. But look, it won't take away from the victory anyway, that's for sure.
Well, what a great day it's been here at the Irish TV grounds here in Ruislip for this year's London Hurling Club Final, which sees Robert Emmett come out on top with a margin of 2 goals. If you'd like to contact the show, send an email to ian@irishtv.ie, and you can also find us on Facebook and on Twitter. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have right now, but do come back to us next week when we'll be out and about in the UK.